Good day to everyone. Here I am discussing the integral calculus number 1, cosine x over 1 minus cosine square x, close and open parentheses dx. So what I've done is I simplified the expression in which we use 1 minus cosine t square equals sine t square to simplify the expression. Then next is that we transform the expression. We use the substitution t equals sine x to transform the integral. And the next is that we evaluate the integral by using 1x and 1x raised to n dx equals negative 1 over n minus 1 times x raised to n minus 1 and is not equal to 1 to evaluate the integral. And then we the next is that we substitute t back to sine x. And then now we get the final answer, which is negative 1 over sine x plus c. Secant x tan x minus sine x. Then what I've done is that I transform first the expression to this one. And then the next one is that we multiply 1 over cosine x and then sine x over cosine x minus sine x dx. And then the next one is that I use the properties of integrals. And now I evaluate the indefinite integral. And then the next is that I can now get the final answer, which is 1 over cosine x plus c. Number 3, t over cube root of 3t square minus 5 dt. So first, I've used the substitution u equals cube root 3t square minus 5 to transform the integral. Next, I've used the properties of integrals to get 1/2 x u du, and the next is that I've calculated the integral. I've used the x dx equals x squared over 2 to evaluate the integral, this one. And then the next is that I now substitute the u into this one, cube root 3t squared minus 5 over 2. And then the next is that I can now say that I can simplify the expression, and this is the final answer. To evaluate the definite integral, first we must evaluate the indefinite integral. x6 minus 4x raised to 5 minus 3x cubed plus x minus 22 dx. Next, we use the property of integral fx plus minus gx dx equals fx dx plus minus gx dx. Next, but then as you can see, I didn't put it in here because it's too very long and mahirap i-explain. Then next, we use x raised to n dx equals x raised to n plus 1 over n plus 1, and n is not equal to negative 1 to evaluate the integral. But to evaluate the definite integral, we return the limits of integration. Then we now use fx b a equals fb minus fa to calculate the expression. And now we simplify it. As you can see, here is my simplification. And then my answer is that negative 22,585 over 84, or negative 268,773 over 84. Then number 5. First, we must simplify the radical expression. Next, we use n root a raised to m equals am over n to transform the expression to get x times x 3 over 4 dx. And then now next is that we calculate the product. As you can see, we calculated the product, and then the next we've used x raised to n dx equals to x raised to n plus 1 over n plus 1. But then, as you can see, di ko rin linagay dito kasi, ito yung explanation niya. Then, n is not equal to negative 1 to evaluate the integral. And then, now, we can now get the final answer, which is 4x squared, ano nga pala to? Fourth root of x cubed over 11 plus c. That's all, and thank you.